Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, or better known to the world as Mahatma Gandhi, was a wise and powerful leader who refused to back down from the prospect of freedom.
In the 1600s, the East Indian Tea Company had full control of India, both politically and economically. India craved her independence, but without economic self-reliance, this seemed impossible.
In 1906, Gandhi launched his Satyagraha movement, the belief in non-violence, passive perseverance, and the insistence on truth. When a young Gandhi traveled to South Africa for the first time to work as a legal consultant, he found the lack of rights for Indians appalling. They could not leave the country without special identification papers and had to be fingerprinted as well. The South African government also claimed that only Christian marriages would be considered legitimate. This is where Gandhi's need for justice began.
I regard myself as a soldier, though a soldier of peace. I know the value of discipline and truth. I must ask you to believe me when I say that I have never made a statement of this description, that the masses of India, if it became necessary, would resort to violence.
One of the largest challenges in achieving political freedom was that India had no economic independence from Great Britain. They depended on the British for most of the items they bought, such as salt, textiles, and tea. Such was the dependence on British goods that bound them together. Britain had placed an exorbitant tax on the salt that India purchased, and put a ban on making or buying salt from someone else. Gandhi's first step towards justice was a simple political statement of civil disobedience, the Salt March.
His mission was to walk the 241 miles to the sea and then boil salt water to make his own salt. Anyone who chose to join him on the way was welcome. By the time he reached the sea, a caravan of more than 5,000 villagers hungry for freedom followed him. This was the first success of Purna Seva, meaning complete independence.
So the British didn't take him very seriously, but as they started marching, they started picking up thousands and thousands of people, right? And Gandhi was very good at organizing. He was very good at getting publicity, media. You know, he did all of that very well. And so by the time they got to the sea, at Dandi, which is very close to Mumbai, or what was called Bombay at that time, you know, then they had huge numbers of people, and it had gotten worldwide publicity. So then the British took it very seriously.
The reaction to the Salt March was huge. Britain had taken notice. Gandhi was imprisoned, and so were hundreds of thousands of villagers who had joined the movement. Gandhi had made suffering, even imprisonment, a mark of honor for those who fought the British ruling. Thousands of people protested until Gandhi was released from jail. Once free, he met with Lord Irwin and made the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, in which Gandhi agreed to end the movement in exchange for freedom of all who had participated.
People didn't know how to, like I said, relate to it. Some of them thought, well, this isn't how radicals, you know, revolutionaries don't act like that. Revolutionaries, you know, the British were used to revolutionaries who were into armed struggle, right? Armed uprisings, using force to overthrow the colonial rule. That was the British view of what revolution was. Revolution is something bloody, violent, right? Where the revolutionaries attempt to overthrow the political and the economic rule and so forth. Gandhi wasn't like that at all. So that, you know, and Gandhi always was trying to be friends with the British.
Although the Salt March had no immediate effect on the British ruling, it was the star of India's long battle towards the reform of a nation. It showed Britain that they were ready to fight for what they wanted and how the voice and power of India laid in one man's hands.
India accounted for more than half of British textile exports. India exported raw cotton, British mills turned this cotton into fabric, and it was then sold back to Indians at very high prices. The British cotton monopoly had to be broken, so Gandhi asked his followers to boycott all imported British textiles. Gandhi wanted to promote Purna Swaraj by creating homespun fabrics on a charkha. He asked that everyone spend a little time every day spinning cloth, and did so himself. This act of civil disobedience was designed not only to hurt Britain's economy, but to prove that India was a force to be reckoned with. Wearing the homespun cotton called khadi became a political statement as well.
The response to Gandhi's proposition was enormous. The demand for British textiles was so low that 47 mills in Lancashire and Blackburn had to be shut down in less than 4 years, leaving thousands of British laborers angry and out of work. After returning from South Africa, Gandhi only left India once more in his life to attend the Round Table conferences in London.
The Round Table Conference was completely abortive. Every divisive tendency in India was encouraged. The conference concluded on December 1st.
While in Europe, he visited the mills that had been shut down due to his boycott on British textiles. He spoke to the crowds of mill workers about his actions and why they were necessary to break loose from the British monarchy.
In this center of the British textile industry, the Mayor of Darwin welcomed the most uncompromising advocate of the boycott of foreign cloth.
Give me a chance to present our point of view, and then, if you like, condemn me and my people. You tell me that 3 million are out of employment here, have been for several months. In my country, 300 million people are unemployed at least 6 months in every year. You say there are days when you can get only bread and butter for your dinner, but these people often go days on end without any food at all.
The mill workers sympathized with Gandhi and applauded him as he left. His speech educated that many more British citizens on India and the effects British colonialism had on her.
On August 14, 1947, the partition of India was announced. India was finally going to be freed from Great Britain. However, the nation was to be divided into 2 separate countries, Pakistan and India. Pakistan was to be the Muslim religious state and India Hindu. The celebration was short-lived when riots broke out across both nations. This was exactly what Gandhi had strived to prevent by preaching acceptance and unity.
Gandhi's heart was broken, and even more so as the violence continued, leading to over 1 million deaths. Gandhi asked the people of Pakistan and India to end the violence, but when the riots continued, he fell to desperate measures and fasted until the riots in Calcutta subsided. Then Gandhi visited Delhi and fasted again for acceptance and unity, hoping to create peace between the 2 religions.
Although religious tension did not disappear completely, Gandhi was able to prevent millions of deaths solely by refusing to eat. The power one man wielded on a nation, the power to create peace and destroy violence, was truly incredible.
I had gone to attend his meeting. The person who killed him was standing by my side.
Godse?
Godse. Nathuram Godse was his name. This man bowed down his head before him to pay him homage, and then he immediately killed him.
Gandhi's actions were truly vital to India's revolution. His wise means and nonviolent beliefs led to the reform of a nation.